One of the biggest problems that I hear from players is that they struggle to consistently score points or make plays in games. And one of the biggest reasons that this can happen is because they don't understand how to play without the basketball in their hands. If you're watching this right now, your goal is to score more points. By far the most important thing for you to do is become a better off-ball player. When you think about it, there's 5 players on the court, and usually one of those players is going to have the ball in their hands for 80% of the time, meaning it's very likely that if you're on the court, you're probably only going to have the ball in your hands for 5 to 10% of the time that you're actually playing. Meaning if you don't know how to score points and make plays without the ball in your hands, you're going to struggle to be consistently great on offense. So in this video, I'm going to break down a few keys that are going to help you become elite off the ball, and we're going to talk about a couple things that you probably have never thought about before, so stay tuned until the end. First, I want you to watch this clip of Steph Curry. There's 2 major off-ball keys that he does right here. I just want you to see if you can pick up on them. We're going to talk about the answer later on in this video, but keep this clip in mind going forward. Now, I want to talk about an area that I hardly hear anybody mention, but first I want to talk about spacing. If you want to be a great off-ball player, you have to understand this. Right here we see 4-out spacing with the nets, so 2 players in the corner, 2 players in the slots, and then 1 player who's playing in the post. This can vary slightly from team to team, but this is an example of great spacing. This is important because it forces defenders to make a decision on whether they're going to stop the primary ball handler and leave you open, or if they're going to stay with you and allow your teammate a lane to drive. And here we see that same principle from Cam Johnson, where he relocates down towards that corner to increase the spacing, which forces that closing out defender to only be able to guard one of them, leading to the open 3. And that leads right into the next off-ball key, which I hardly hear anybody talk about, and that's the art of relocating. If you want to get more open shots in games, you need to understand how to relocate. The first way that this helps you to create a shot is that it gives your teammates a better angle and a better lane to make a pass. That's because typically your defender is playing help in the passing lane, so you need to get yourself out of the passing lane in order to create an angle for that pass to happen. Right here we see multiple relocations from Duncan Robinson. First, as that ball handler drives towards the baseline, he fills to the corner to create an angle, and then when his teammate goes back towards the middle, he lifts towards the middle to create another angle for that pass. And this is all about taking advantage of your defender when they turn to help. Right here we see Tyler Hero relocate as soon as his defender turns to help with the post. He relocates up to create a passing angle, and because his defender was helping, he doesn't know where he is anymore, and that leads to an open catch and shoot 3. Here we see another great example of relocating as Reggie Bullock draws in Kennard's defender, so he lifts up to create that passing angle, leads to a wide open 3. The other reason why this is so important is because it creates a longer distance for defenders to have to close out, which is going to help you to get by your defender and attack downhill more often. Another important time to relocate is if you're that corner on a ball screen, because it again gives a better angle for that pass, forces the defender to make a decision on whether they're going to help or they're going to guard you, and because it helps to keep good spacing. One of the best ways to score in the game of basketball is by utilizing off-ball screens and pin downs, but very few players are actually taught how to use these screens, so right now I'm going to tell you everything you need to know so that you can become much more effective using pin downs and off-ball screens. When it comes to using pin downs or down screens, the first thing you need to keep in mind is that this is supposed to be a read, so you need to be mindful when you use them. And if you get good at reading these screens, you're going to be able to create opportunities for yourself all the time off the ball. The first read on a pin down is a tight curl, and you're going to get to this anytime that your defender is trailing you or chasing you over that screen. Because that defender is behind you, you're going to have a free drive to the basket, and the only way that you get stopped is if that screener's defender helps, which then will leave the screener open for a pop for an open shot. The next read is a flare or a fade, and you're going to get to this anytime your defender plays under the screen. This will allow you to use that defender's attempt to cheat under the screen against them. And many times this will create not only a shot, but potentially a closeout opportunity that you can attack and get to the rim. And the third read is a backdoor cut. You're going to get to this anytime that your defender overplays it and tries to jump the screen early. And this will make sure to keep them honest so that you have other opportunities coming off of screens as well. Like I said, the majority of players don't understand how to read screens properly, A lot of times they just come off of screens and they do whatever, and that's why they can't seem to really score out of them. So I'm going to test you right here. We're going to go through a couple of clips. I'm going to pause it, and I want you to make the read on how he should play the screen. Let's see how many you can get right. What would be the right read in this situation? Should he tight curl, flare, or backdoor? What's the read in this situation? What's the read in this situation? Now, what would be your read in this screen situation? Drop a comment down below and let me know how many you got right. Another super valuable aspect of off-ball movement is cutting. But just like using screens, a lot of players don't actually understand when to cut or how to cut. But the stuff we talk about now is easily going to help you to score more points in games. Maybe the most important type of cut is the 45 cut. And this is when you're on the wing and you cut into the paint towards the basket. This is something you should always be thinking about doing, especially when the ball gets into the kill zone, which in this situation is going to be anything from the block to the short corner opposite of you. Right here, we see the Heat get to a low post touch with Jimmy Butler, and Tyler Hero immediately cuts from that opposite wing and gets a wide open layup. Here we see the same concept, except the ball gets to Jimmy Butler off of a roll. Tyler Hero cuts in from that opposite wing on the 45 cut to get a bucket in the paint. And you can also get to it off of a drive from that opposite wing. So right here we see Kevin Huerter immediately get into that 45 cut as soon as his teammate drives in from the opposite wing and gets an open layup out of it. This works so well because many times defenders get caught ball watching. So as soon as any action happens on the opposite side of the court from you, a lot of times your defender is going to start to focus on that, giving you the opportunity to cut and be open. You can easily score a couple more points per game just by looking to do this more often, so make this a habit. Another cut that's super important is the backdoor cut. And this is something that you're going to get to anytime your defender overplays and tries to keep you from getting the ball. The best that you could do is go backdoor, because either you're going to be open and you're going to get a pass, hopefully for a layup, or you're going to clear out that side, potentially give your teammates opportunities to score as well. Now, the last thing I want to do is go through 2 quick off-ball scoring tips that are going to help you to score more points. First, let's go back to the clip that we started this video off with. Did you pick up on the 2 things that Steph does really well in this clip? The one thing we already talked about was relocation, which he does a great job of. But the other thing that he does really well is that he moves as soon as he passes the ball. And this is another small thing that can easily increase your scoring average by a couple points. As soon as you make a pass, typically your defender relaxes. But if you cut or you move immediately after making a pass, there's going to be a chance that you're going to be open, either for an open shot or for an easy layup. And the second tip is understanding the power of being the screener. When you set screens, the attention goes away from you and to the person that you're screening for. So a lot of times, even if they're the ones using the screen, the one who ends up open is you. So by setting ball screens or by setting pin downs and working for your teammates, you're actually opening yourself up to more scoring opportunities. So take advantage of being the screener. Hopefully this video helps you take your off-ball scoring ability to the next level. If you really want to take it up another level, click the top link in my description below to get my free Elite Perimeter Scorer program. Drop a like and subscribe if you're new. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.